Health is Wealth with Dr. Mike on 105.9 The Region.
You're listening to 105.9 The Region, and this is Health is Wealth with Dr. Mike Carrozza. I'm station manager Tina Cortez. Good morning, Dr. Mike. Here we are, the end of August. Can you believe it?
Good morning, Tina. Yes, I mean, it's sad because it's summer's coming to an end. So for sure, this is something that we're just loving the weather, and hopefully it goes right into the fall and gives us a nice fall as well.
For sure. It's the unofficial end of summer. Traditionally, at this time of year, we're kind of gearing up for back to school, and we're still kind of gearing up for back to school, although it might feel and look different for so many. There might be some, different starting dates in there. So what recommendations do you have for parents and, their kids at home?
Well, I mean, the major thing is, I think, to keep every single one of our immune systems in tip-top shape. Eating healthy is going to be the absolute most important, and I think that has been the message that we've always sent, especially, myself in practice with my patients. We always want to give this message because that's how we know we can properly nourish our bodies to flourish, literally. And you want to make sure that if you feed the system it's meant to consume, you're going to get the best outcome, and that includes our immune system. There's lots of talk about taking things like selenium and certain vitamins, but the key factors are we can get a lot of this nutrition from our foods. So fruits, vegetables, eating healthy, less junk food, folks. For our listeners out there, less sugary foods. These sugary snacks are just really not very good for our immune system. And going right into the cold and flu season, of course, we're tacking on now this COVID, so it's this cold flu COVID season, and we really want to start thinking about what's going to get our immune system in tip-top shape. And again, I can't stress it enough how eating healthy is going to be the best. And then, cutting out the sugars and just try to get those limited sugar snacks. And a lot of people say, well, how much is too much? Well, if it's above 12 grams of sugar, it's too much. If it's above even 10, it's too much. So I think, you look at the sugar readings, and if it's about 5, 6 grams of sugar for a granola bar, that's a pretty decent bar because it has to have a little bit of sugar. But what kind of sugar's in there? I always like sweetening things with honey and maple syrup. These are naturally occurring sugars. It's very different. The body's easy to read these kinds of sugars. And then, just eating the colors, just eating the rainbow, and just let's not forget this. And of course, I have small kids, and we want to give them that snack and those treats, and maybe that can happen on the weekend, but on a daily, we really got to just hone in. And then, there's obviously, a big part of what I talk to my patients and speak to is digestive health, and key probiotics and beneficial bacteria and how it really plays a big role. Because, our health starts right in our gut, of course. And, the sunshine vitamin D is probably one of the most researched and well-documented vitamins on the planet, and especially during this time for cold and flu and COVID season, of course. This is where, to help mitigate the second wave, is this we do all these things and we take and consume all these wonderful nutritional supplements or vitamins through our diet. So, a lot of patients come in and say, do I have to take vitamins? Well, if you eat healthy and you consume the right foods, then chances are you'll have to take very few vitamins. But some things are just really challenging for us to take, Tina. It's really hard for us to find ample amounts of vitamins, especially if we're eating the wrong foods. So, that's probably one of the biggest things is that making sure the sources are really good as well, right? Because if we're eating a lot of foods that have been sprayed with certain pesticides or contaminated with glyphosate, then it's going to be harder on our immune system to sort of fight and assimilate the nutrients, so then it becomes more challenging. So clean vegetables, obviously, my stance on this. I love organic. I think it's absolutely important. And while you can consume these wonderful vegetables, especially being in Ontario through this wonderful growing season that we've had, it should be easy.
Absolutely. Now, what about advice for the parent who may have a picky eater at home?
Well, this is, these are the challenges that I see in my practice for sure, because I see a lot of young kids, their favorite food is pizza. if I can ask our listeners to put up their hand, I think everybody would be waving their hands in the air while they're listening to us, because, who doesn't like, or what kid does not like pizza or even pasta?
Right.
And it's really the easiest and one of the best things to make and quickest, and you can get it anywhere. So, and I think I looked at a stat, and the number one food over COVID that has been sold is pizza. And I think pizza stocks have gone skyrocketed because of it, and the pizza companies are doing very well, which is good to know. And even the frozen pizzas are really selling off the, pretty much off the counters. So pizza sales have skyrocketed during this COVID time, for sure. And that's because, it's quick, it's easy, but also, for the picky eaters, they won't eat anything else. So if you put a broccoli or some carrots in front of them, they're going to say, they're probably not going to eat it. So what I say to the parents is this: you really have to start, focusing on getting the nutrients. Stick to what they like. So I don't advise forcing a child to eat something that he can't stand. All right? Because there are children who just have an aversion to things, and there's reasons for it. So I listen to the body at that state. But, so you pick. So you ask the child, say, look, if you had to pick a vegetable, what would it be? And most kids love cucumbers. So cucumbers are really good. So the way I do it is I peel a portion of the skin on and off, so you get that green pigment, and you get that wonderful nutrient for that child. That's one example. But, maybe some kids hate carrots, but some kids love them. So you just got to go with what they like, and then really just, look at the fruit. Every child likes at least one fruit. Like maybe some children won't like strawberries, but maybe one would like blueberries. And I'm not saying you have to just give them blueberries every day, but it's not so much a bad idea either. Just give them what they like, and then introduce. And then when they see you eat it, they'll ask, can I try it? And sort of introductory state. But then there's some kids that just don't eat any vegetables, and this is where supplementation is going to be instrumental, right? And this is where you can make some really good smoothies. And I love fruit smoothies, Tina, because every kid loves them, okay? Even if they don't love vegetables. So I'll just give you a quick recipe for a smoothie. It's really easy for our listeners to do. So you can really just, you can just use your ordinary blender.
Okay.
And you just put some strawberries and blueberries. They go really nice together. And you want to put a banana. Now, you can either use water or you can use some alternative milk, or even at that point, you can either use some almond milk or coconut milk. If your son or daughter is allergic to any of these, then you can either use a rice milk just to give it that sort of milkshake feel. Otherwise, you can just use straight water. And then you want to put some ice cubes so it's nice and cold, but then you drop either some maple syrup in there, just a little bit. You have to put a little sweetener in there just to get the kids. They're going to like it. And maybe it's just a tablespoon for a nice smoothie. And research has actually proven that a tablespoon of unpasteurized honey is very, very therapeutic in terms of helping the immune system. So not such a bad thing. And then you just put it in there. Anyway, you blend it real quickly. You make a nice smoothie, and they'll drink it. And then if you do that every day, that's like a power shake for kids, and it's very good for their health and their immune system. So there's really different ways in which you can introduce some of these fruits and veggies.
Absolutely, and you're getting a lot of those colors in there that you talk about. After the break, staying focused and motivated when you're working from home. This is Health is Wealth on 105.9 The Region. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Miranda Malasani. Health is Wealth with Dr. Mike is brought to you by Nature's Emporium, your neighborhood health food store offering everything natural and organic. Make it your one-stop destination for freshly prepared meals, clean beauty products, nutraceuticals, and nutrient-dense options in every aisle.
You're listening to 105.9 The Region, and welcome back to Health is Wealth. I'm Tina Cortez, and over to Dr. Mike with today's guest.
Well, thanks, Tina. Well, we welcome here on Health is Wealth Dr. Ryan Chakitano, who's a naturopathic doctor and works at AppleMed Clinic, and we're so happy that he's able to join us again. Dr. Ryan, thank you once again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. Thank you, Tina. Always a pleasure to join you guys.
Well, listen, you know what? We practice together. We're in the same office, of course. We've treated many patients and multiple patients together, and I must say, and I must admit, just to all our listeners out there, it is a very good feeling to be back in the swing of things. Wouldn't you say, Dr. Ryan, practicing again?
Yeah, we missed it. We were forced to stay online a little bit, which is nice to have that technology, but we definitely miss being one-on-one with our patients.
Yeah, and it's nice to actually continue to do what we're meant to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we obviously I just want to talk a little bit about you and your background, because you have a strong sports medicine background in being an athlete, and, it's probably one of your driving passions, and one of the reasons why you became a naturopathic doctor is to help people and condition them. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the point on that, just to refresh our listeners in terms of that?
Yeah, of course. It's been a long few months without sports. I'm glad it's finally back, but that's my background, essentially. I was in sports medicine for a while. I was fortunate enough to play at the University of Toronto, represent them for 4 years. Also play at Toronto FC and represent them. So soccer is my background. And along the way, I was able to interact with some amazing healthcare practitioners. I was unfortunate to be injured as often as I was, but I learned so much from injuries and from some amazing people, and I carried those experiences with me into practice today. And it's helped me become a more well-rounded practitioner, absolutely.
And we have a little bit of if you will, a little more expertise in a field that some naturopaths otherwise wouldn't have, and that's the intravenous vitamin therapy. And what a great tool, and of course it's wonderful to get back into practice and actually help the people that we can help. But I mean, can you speak a little bit of point to that as well, because that is a sub sort of, if you will, expertise that we do.
Yeah, to be quite frank, it's what makes us different from pretty much anyone out there. We're able to take these nutrients that are amazing in terms of their health benefits and bypass the digestive tract and go right into the veins, right into the circulatory system. And when we're able to inject some amazing vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants, all these sorts of things, we're able to treat so many different conditions more effectively, quickly, and more sustainably, whether it be thyroid-related, pain-related, chronic pain-related, cancer-related, you name it. There's so many different conditions that we can treat more effectively using intravenous therapy. So that was one of the downfalls of having to be shut down for a few months during COVID, but we're so happy to be back doing that, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and to that point, obviously there's, just to all of our listeners out there, it's nice to be back, and we are back in action, and so, I think, people have, they've put on extra weight, and this is an opportune time to come in to see us. Maybe you can explain a little bit about the AppleMed sort of feeling in terms of coming into our space and run through how we take care of things right now.
Yeah, you betcha. It's a homey type feeling. You walk in, you're immediately greeted by some amazing people right at the front desk, and they'll walk you in, and we'll put together a treatment plan for you that works and works quickly. So you mentioned weight loss. We have an amazing weight loss program here, and the intravenous therapy is included right in that. So we're introducing some amazing nutrients to help your body burn more than it normally would, and there's some amazing benefits from that. So lots of good stuff, lots of amazing benefits to coming in to see us. I know the online is convenient, and we're going to talk about a project we've had going for a while in terms of the online stuff here in a minute, but coming in to see us, you'll get some amazing benefits as well. So we look forward to seeing you in office.
Yes, and you have been busy, of course, and so let's talk about this new initiative that you've been a part of, and maybe you could speak to point on this new online sort of clinic that you've been working with so diligently.
Definitely, yeah. It's kept me busy through the months we were shut down, definitely. So my online experience started about a year ago. I created an online program to help people with chronic low back pain. And it opened my eyes to the number of people we can help and the number of lives we can change in the online space. I was helping people in Wyoming and Florida and all across North America with their low back pain. So I've sort of taken that expertise and now brought it to our more local space online and said, okay, how do we help our local community? And employers have been reaching out and saying, how do we get our employees healthier? There's this big kick now in corporate wellness. It was already starting to happen before COVID, but now especially employers and employees as well are starting to, maybe worry is not the right word, but be more concerned about their health. And we love it from our perspective because human nature is not to be preventative. We only, and I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not saying this is just amongst employees. This is everybody across the board. It's our tendency to only address problems once they're here. But there is this shift we're starting to see where people are asking, hey, how can I have my immune system ready to go if and when it's called upon? So we've created a corporate wellness program over the past few months to help not only employers in terms of their costs and saving them money, but also employees and making sure they're more productive. So we've looked at the research. We've been able to, and it's pretty fascinating how they've been able to segregate by condition what it's actually costing an employer. So as an example, someone with chronic pain, if you have an employee with chronic pain, it's costing an employer on average $800 a year. And then you start to layer in other conditions, whether it be cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, or bronchitis, like you name it, they have factored in costs from both absenteeism and something called presenteeism, which essentially equates to a lack of productivity. So we've looked at the research and said, okay, these are the conditions that are costing employers money. How do we create a program that helps employers save money? And along the way, we're creating healthy employees. People are feeling better. They have more energy. They're sleeping better. They're more productive, calling in sick less, like so many different benefits based on what we've been able to create and target through essentially a program that addresses healthy nutrition and lifestyle factors, mainly exercise.
And it's amazing. And what do you think is the main, like, you know, obviously it's important for an employee because you want to keep your job. So, like, it's really good for an employee to sort of step up to the plate because they want to make sure that they're doing what they're doing. But how important, and I want to just touch on this point because you made it very clear, how important is it for an employer to sort of, A, retain and, you know, if you will, invest into the well-being of their employee?
Massive. We've had employers floored by the research we showed them in terms of what it's costing them per year. They didn't even realize what they're losing. Like, it's very easy to track in terms of absenteeism, what they're missing, but in terms of that lack of productivity, that's where we're really starting to get buy-in from employees, but also employers, where they're saying, okay, it's not just about showing up to work, like, we need to make sure these people are productive. So it's our job, obviously. We took an oath to make people healthier, absolutely, and working with employers to ensure their employees are healthy has become our number one and high demand right now. So employers are starting to see the difference and starting to see more money in their pockets because of how healthy their employees are. And it's about creating that culture as well in a workplace. Part of our goal is to create this culture of health and wellness inside an employer's space, so that employees come in and they're feeling better. They're feeling good as soon as they walk in, right? So that's also part of what we're doing.
And it's nice because I think, you know, just to add to that point, it's probably in the benefits of the employers to sort of, you know, help these people get healthy, right? Because not only will they save money, but imagine if you're a manager in a key role and that person would get sick and have to take time off that role, or maybe, God forbid, something detrimental happens. Maybe they develop heart disease or a heart attack. You know, like, think about the implications. I guess I'm just thinking about the implications and how it would be very impossible to try to replace that individual, and then B, you know, rehiring and then retraining. I mean, is those costs even, that's probably not even factored into that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And as an employer, it helps to see who is investing in their health and really engaging in a program like this as well. Just to echo your point, if I'm going to invest in someone as an employer, I want to see that they're investing in themselves and in their health and in their wellness. So it's more comforting to me if I have a manager, like you said, who is getting sick less and is more productive and doing all these things properly. So that's definitely a great point.
You know, so this new program, like, how does it, you know, how can you, is it open to sort of companies? Could, like, so who are the type of individuals that you're looking at, and where can they, let's say, if they had to sign up, or what can they do to look more?
Yeah, they can definitely reach out to us and contact the clinic for more information. We are expanding to both field workers and office workers, so we factored in both into our various programs, and we're able to specify and customize our programs for each individual employee. And it's been amazing that we have been able to, for the most part, keep things online and make it as convenient as possible for each employee. So it's all done through an app that we have convenient for each one. And they're able to log in, and through there they can join appointments with us, they can look at different videos and instructionals, they can fill out forms. So progress is obviously something we are concerned about, but we also wanted to factor in the convenience of each and every one of the people going through our program. So that's definitely a big factor as well.
And what a timely, I mean, I think it's interesting, but, being that, a lot of people are hesitant to go back to work, and there's a lot of concerns out there, and there's, so this seems like a right time to sort of launch something like this because, not a lot of people are able to go out and get, maybe they're worried about going back to work, they're worried about going into an office, or they're worried about even going to the gym, and so this totally makes sense on how, we can, I guess you can really help people from a distance and to get them healthy in the workplace, correct?
Yeah, now's the time more than ever. I don't want to say the workplace has changed forever. It potentially has, and I don't know if people are going to be shifted to all online or partly online or how that's going to work, but we do need that human interaction, and I think people are really missing that now. So to be able to make sure people are healthy and able to interact with each other, make sure their immune systems are ready to go. You said it, you hit the nail on the head now better than ever in terms of timing to roll this out. And like I said, the demand for it's been high in terms of employers reaching out to us, and we put together a program to cater exactly to their needs and to the needs of their employees.
And so, what, I think it's a brilliant program. I think it's wonderful how it could help individuals. I mean, so I guess it doesn't matter whether you have 500 or 1,000 employees or 50. I mean, it makes total sense to create a healthy environment so that everybody can be a part of that. So I think it's great, and I'm really happy that we were able to showcase this for you. And obviously, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thank you again for having me.
And Dr. Mike, let's remind our listeners where they can connect with you at AppleMed.
So they can connect with both myself and Dr. Ryan at applemed.ca. They can reach us at 905-303-4622. So that's 905-303-4622. They can send us an email at info@applemed.ca. And obviously, you can send us an email about your questions and maybe concerns. Our staff is really good at the front, so a lot of our patients usually call in and say, can Dr. Mike or Dr. Ryan treat us with this condition? And usually they're really informative, and they may even give you some help and advice to see what practitioner would be right for you within our practice. And then, of course, we're on Instagram as well at AppleMed Clinic. And we continue to monitor that and hope you follow us. And, thank you very much.
All right. Previous episodes of Health is Wealth on 1059theregion.com. Thanks for listening.
Looking for a one-stop shop to eat well and live better? Nature's Emporium has it all. 100% certified organic produce and fresh meals made daily. Visit Giuseppe's Juice Bar and Bistro and shop every aisle for nutrient-dense, allergy-friendly groceries to eco-conscious options. We offer clean cosmetics, and we have York Region's biggest selection of nutraceuticals. Most importantly, we have a team of health professionals in all 4 locations to help you on the road to good health. For more information, visit naturesemporium.com.